Saya. This is Saya, my 11-year-old niece. And you're gonna keep me company for my first piece, okay?
Okay.
All of my poems are about love. All of my poems are about some boy. All of my poems are about my fat. All of my poems are about my Spanish, my El Salvador, my English, my pre-gentrification Silver Lake, my Echo Park before the food trucks and yoga parties, my belly swinging by the vegan restaurant shops, my double chin laughing in overpriced coffee shops, my minimum wage paycheck, my staying too long in too many places, my poor taste in men, my online dating, my bad dates, my ex-boyfriends and their girlfriends who live next door, drama, my niece and all her laughter, my niece and all her questions, my niece and her hands pressed against my face, my niece and her hands wet with the tears on my face. Hold on. My niece, with her hands pressed against my face, my niece, with her hands wet with the tears on my face. My depression, my secret sadness, my ocean always asking for my body, my anxiety whispering my name at the nape of my neck, my hands, and how they listened and slammed against my body, and how no one ever saw the bruises because no one ever saw my body. All of my poems are about my brown girl body, everyone has an opinion about this body, I have to fight to love it every fucking day, body, my big, fat, beautiful body. My red lipstick smile, my curly Salvadoran hair, my mommy's hair, and my hair, oh my mommy. My papi, my drunk and angry papi. My papi yelling out my name in the middle of the night. My papi and his belt against my skin. My papi's belt and how it whistled in the air before finding my skin. My long nights counting his snores. My grieving him 10 years before he died. My watching him die. My exhale when he died. My life after he died. My good life after he died. My guilt. My grief. My love, all of my poems are about my parents, my hardworking migrant parents, my hardly any English parents, my Saturday afternoon listening to Juan Gabriel parents, my early Sunday morning mass parents, my sisters and I in our prettiest dresses. Oh, my sisters, my first friends, my first saviors, my first lesson in getting the fuck over it. My singing at the top of their lungs until mommy yells, "Shut the hell up, this isn't a musical, sisters." My no one gets it like you do, sisters. You see, all of my poems are about love. The times that it came in floods, and the years, the long years that I forgot what love was. All of my poems are collection plates I fill and fill and fill and fill and fill, and I have yet to come up empty, and I don't think I ever will. Thank God for my poems, for how they always find me, for my heart that believes them, and these hands that always receive them. And now, San Cha.
yo soy su fruta y tú la víbora que nos vendió y has envenenado toda la tierra que me concebió. Let's hear it for Lou on the flute. And Matías on the guitarra. And let's hear one for Yesika Salgado. Y tú siempre nos quieres comprar.
Esta tierra no se vende.
Con el oro que robaste de esta
Tierra no se
tierra.
vende.
No eres dueño de nada.
Esta tierra no se vende.
No eres dueño de nada.
Esta tierra no se vende.
No se vende, no te pertenece. Come on, Yesika. Hello.
How are we doing? First of all, my condolences to any Mexicans that are here. We'll make sure to heal your heart before you go home. The grief is real, right? For those of you that don't sports, I don't either, but something about soccer happened today. So thank you so much for coming out. We are at Hauser Wirth, y'all. This is fancy schmancy. But I think it's, first of all, San Cha and I are really grateful to be back twice in 1 year. We, thank you. We performed here in May, some month with an M. We performed here at the top of the year. I was invited to come and perform with an art piece called Black Art by Gary Simmons. And when they said I could invite anybody to collaborate with me, immediately I thought of San Cha. She's phenomenal. She's a powerhouse and makes me step up my own game in a way that no one ever has. And she said yes. And then Lu and Matias said yes. And this is the end of a string of performances we've had this year. And I've been able to live my dream of being in a band. But we're incredibly grateful to be able to come again and help celebrate the opening of this beautiful performance space. So we want to thank the folks at Hauser, Alexander, Priscilla, Russell, who's not here, who's sick, and everybody else that has touched something from lights to sound to the entire team, to our teams that got us put together. Aren't our outfits great? They were made by a Salvadoran designer named Olima. So, yeah. And again, it's really, before we jump into our set, I also want to remind you all that when San Cha and I performed here last time, we said this and we want to say it again. These places are usually places that are designated for folks of privilege, for institutions usually curated by whiteness. And today, it's not that. Today, we're opening the doors to our community, so POC, brown, black folks, indigenous folks, all of you. These spaces are also for us. And so please come back other than today. Come and take up space over here and become part of the artwork, because you are my beautiful city, our beautiful city, and we love you. All right, vámonos. My favorite photograph of my mother, her red dress, her long curls over one shoulder, her hands, small ships taking port on her lap, the couch, a land she calls hers. She smiles without parting her lips, her night sky eyes staring straight into the lens.
Como espuma que inerte lleva el caudaloso río, flor de salvia, la vida en su avalancha te arrastró, pero al salvarte hallar pudiste protección y abrigo, donde curar tu corazón herido por el dolor. Tu sonrisa refleja el paso de las horas negras. Tu mirada, la más amarga desesperación. Hoy para siempre quiero que olvides tus pasadas penas y que tan solo tenga horas serenas tu corazón.
My favorite photograph of my parents. They danced together. My mother in her red dress, her hand curled around my father's shoulder, her bare arms a new gold. My father's thick hair, a cloud above them, he smiles, and my mother does not. Instead, she stares into the camera again.
A través del cristal y despertarte muy dulcemente si aún estás dormida a la alborada de una nueva vida. A través del cristal y despertarte muy dulcemente si aún estás dormida a la alborada de una nueva vida. A través del cristal y despertarte muy dulcemente si aún estás dormida a la alborada de una nueva vida. A través del cristal y despertarte muy dulcemente si aún estás dormida a la alborada de una nueva vida. A través del cristal y despertarte muy dulcemente si aún estás dormida a la alborada de una nueva vida. A través del cristal y despertarte muy dulcemente si aún estás dormida a la alborada de una nueva vida. A través del cristal y despertarte muy dulcemente si aún estás dormida a la alborada de una nueva vida. A través del cristal y despertarte muy dulcemente si aún estás dormida a la alborada de una nueva vida. A través del cristal y despertarte muy dulcemente si aún estás dormida a la alborada de una nueva vida. A través del cristal y despertarte muy dulcemente si aún estás dormida a la alborada de una nueva vida. A través del cristal y despertarte muy dulcemente si aún estás dormida a la alborada de una nueva vida. A trav
myself. My parents sit on the sand, Santa Monica Beach, and the cars in the distance. My parents kissing. My mother's legs, a question mark beneath her. My father's mustache, a stroke of danger. And there, in their eyes, a twinkle, me.
Quisiera ser la golondrina que al amanecer a tu ventana llegó para ver a través del cristal y despertarte muy dulcemente si aún estás dormida a la alborada de una nueva vida llena de amor.
If you know any of the songs, sing along.
Tanto tiempo disfrutamos de este amor, nuestras almas se acercaron, tanto así que yo guardo tu sabor, pero tú llevas también sabor a mí. Si negaras mi presencia en tu vivir, bastaría con abrazarte y conversar. Tanta vida yo te di que por fuerza llevas ya sabor a mí. No pretendo ser tu dueño, no soy nada, yo no tengo vanidad. De mi vida doy lo bueno, soy tan pobre que otra cosa puedo dar. Pasarán más de 1000 años y muchos más. Yo no sé si tengo amor, la eternidad, pero allá tal como aquí, en la boca llevarás sabor a mí.
Mi corazón, cielito lindo, mi amor, mi vida, mi alma. Oh, how beautiful it is to be loved in Spanish. So much color, so much taste. This is where I learned to love with abandon. When my lover called me his heart, his pretty sky, his treasure, his love, his life, his soul. Has anyone ever spoken to you this way? Covered you with kisses, naming you every precious thing they know? Have they filled you with so much love you thought you would burst? Mi vida, mi alma, oh, to love so much you become someone's skies, soul, treasure, corazón.
No pretendo ser tu dueño, no soy nada, yo no tengo vanidad. De mi vida doy lo bueno, soy tan pobre que otra cosa puedo dar. Pasarán más de 1000 años y muchos no sé si tengo amor, la eternidad, pero allá tal como aquí, en la boca llevarás sabor a mí, sabor a mí.
So, how many of you are in love today? Beautiful. How many of you are heartbroken today? Okay, we got something for y'all. We got that out of the way.
Noche de ronda, qué triste pasas, qué triste cruzas. Por mi balcón, noche de ronda, cómo me quieres y cómo lastimas. Mi corazón. Luna que se quebra sobre la tiniebla de mi soledad. ¿A dónde vas? Dime si esta noche tú te vas de ronda como él se fue. ¿Con quién estás? Dile que lo quiero, dile que me muero de tanto esperar. Que vuelva ya. Que las rondas no son buenas, que hacen daño, que dan penas y se acaba por llorar.
I know there's someone else, I would say. There isn't, you would swear, but sometimes late at night when I would wait for you, she would climb into my bones and I could feel her stillness in my stomach. I could taste her voice in my mouth. I tried finding her on Facebook or Instagram, anything to give her name a face. I wanted to know who was haunting me. I wanted to haunt her too. Any woman you named became her, and I began thinking of her more often than I thought of you. She was a fever I couldn't shake until you'd come by and talk her out of my skin. Promised it was only me, and I believed you. I chose to, until tonight, when you said her name so casually, when you thought I wasn't listening, and again, my bones became hers.
Luna que se quiebra sobre la tiniebla de mi soledad.
I know there's there's someone else.
¿A dónde vas?
I know there's someone else.
Dime si esta noche toda va a ser ronda como ella se fue.
I know there's someone else.
¿Con quién estás?
I know there's someone else.
Dile que lo quiero, dile que me muero de tanto
I
esperar.
know there's someone else.
Que vuelva
I know
ya.
there's someone else.
Que las rondas no son
know there's someone
buenas, que hacen daño,
I know there's
que
someone else.
dan pena
I know there's someone
y
else.
se acaban.
I know.
Por llorar.
Please tell me you'll stay so I can stop pretending to leave.
No sabía de tristezas, ni de lágrimas, ni nada que me hicieran llorar. Yo sabía de caricias, de ternura, porque a mí desde pequeño eso me enseñó mamá. Eso me enseñó mamá. Eso y muchas cosas más. Yo jamás sufrí. Yo jamás lloré. Yo era muy feliz. Yo vivía muy bien. Y yo vivía tan distinto, algo hermoso, algo divino, lleno de felicidad. Yo sabía de alegrías, la belleza de la vida, pero no de soledad, pero no de soledad. De eso y muchas cosas más. Yo jamás sufrí. Yo jamás lloré. Yo era muy feliz. Yo vivía muy bien. Hasta que te conocí. Vi la vida con dolor. No te miento, fui feliz, aunque con muy poco amor. Y muy tarde comprendí que no te debía amar, porque ahora pienso en ti más que ayer, mucho más.
The last fight came and you talked and talked and talked and talked and talked about how awful I am, how I did you wrong, how I fucked other men, how I didn't lend you money, how I lied, how you hate me, how selfish I am, how now I want to be who I never was. I don't love you. I don't know what love is. I give everyone what I'm supposed to keep for you. I'm terrible. I don't know how hard it's been dealing with me, this bitch, this monster, this woman incapable of loving you, how you want to be loved, and I listened. I sobbed. I became a river again, and through the dark, 5 small snakes wound themselves into my mouth. The last words, get out of my life.
Hasta que te conocí, comencé a vivir la vida con dolor. No te miento, fui feliz, aunque con muy poco amor. Y muy tarde comprendí que no te debía amar jamás, porque ahora pienso en ti, porque ahora pienso en ti, porque ahora pienso en ti. Mucho más que ayer, pero mucho más. Y yo jamás sufrí. Pero desgraciadamente era una noche como estas cuando te encontré.
And I will not search for someone to numb this grief. Your leaving says nothing about what's been left, about me, this woman, this heart, this growth. I am growing, you know. I am healing myself. I am finding myself. I am finally myself. I am blooming my love even after you've chosen not to watch. And your leaving says nothing about what's been left. I am tired of the same poems belonging to new men. I am tired of the same poems belonging to new men. I am tired of the same poems belonging to new men. Your leaving says nothing about what's been left about me, this woman, this heart, this growth, and my love is good. My love is whole. My love saves. My love grows and grows and grows and grows. My love, my love, my love, your love, our love, San Cha, your love. It grows and it grows and it grows and it grows. My love heals, my love blooms, my love grows, my love heals, my love blooms, my love grows. Your leaving says nothing about what's been left. Me, this woman, this heart, this growth. I love you.
Yo te di todo mi amor y más, y tú no reconoces ni lo que es amar. Yo me puse dispuesta a tus pies y tan solo con desprecios has pagado, pero ahora si una vez dije que te Hoy me arrepiento. Si una vez dije que te amaba, no sé lo que pensé, estaba loca. Si una vez dije que te amaba y que por ti la vida daba. Si una vez dije que te amaba, no lo vuelvo a hacer. Ese error es cosa de ayer.
I remember the third night we spent together. I was on my knees with a mouthful of you when you asked if I would be willing to do this for other men, if I would let you charge them for my pretty little mouth, and I did not say a word. I did not pull you out of me. Instead, I closed my eyes. I held my breath. I swallowed you when we came, and we never spoke of it again. On the fifth night, you asked if you could put on some porn while we made love. I said I didn't mind, but I watched your face as you stared at the screen. You didn't look at me that way. You didn't look at me at all. I began numbering the times you called me beautiful, and I hardly had any to count. On the 11th night, you asked if I could come over and help keep your loneliness at bay. We sat on opposite ends of the couch and we didn't speak for hours. When I finally leaned over and ran a finger down your shoulder, you shrugged me off while texting someone else. I got up, walked to the bathroom, ran the water while I sobbed. When I returned, you said you needed money, and I offered to give you anything you'd like just to turn you human again. Then you kissed me, softly, slowly, and I held my breath for days.
Yo sé que un día volverás y tú de todo te arrepentirás. Yo me puse dispuesto a tus pies y tan solo con desprecios me has pagado, pero ahora si una vez dije que te amaba, hoy me arrepiento. Si una vez dije que te amaba, no sé lo que pensé, estaba loca. Si una vez dije que te amaba y que por ti la vida daba. Si una vez dije que te amaba, no lo vuelvo a hacer. Ese error, ese error es cosa de ayer.
Then came the part where I forgot I do not know how to swim, how to dive into a man and come back up for air. The nights I sawed off my hands and left them on your lap, unhinged my jaw, swallowed my feet, turned myself inside out. The nights you named me clingy, whispered, needy, but I forgave them all because you were beautiful on the good days because you kissed me, and I became steam seeping through the floorboards because in the dark I own you now. Sounds a lot like I love you, and I made up excuses to stay. I refused to give you up, but when I finally had enough and I threatened to leave, you said that I had become too complicated, that I had stopped being fun, that anyone would be happy to take my place, that you had been nothing but a perfect gentleman, and if I needed to write a poem to get over you, I could.
Si una vez que te amaba, ay, me arrepiento.
And that's when I understood why some women set shit on fire. It isn't about getting someone to come back. It is about realizing that who I was when I let you stay needed to be burned down to the ground. Like that third night we spent together, when I was on my knees with a mouthful of you. I should have been down. I should have turned this pretty little mouth into a blowtorch. I should have left you as a pile of ash, as a reminder to myself of who I can become the second I don't leave, when I see smoke disguised as a man. Again, let's give it up for Matias and Lou. We have a surprise for y'all. We are being joined by an off mariachi named Las Colibrí.
Probablemente ya de mí te has olvidado, y sin embargo yo te seguiré esperando. No me he querido ir para ver si algún día que tú quieras volver me encuentres todavía. Por eso aún estoy en el lugar de siempre, en la misma ciudad y con la misma gente, para que tú al volver no encuentres nada extraño y sea como ayer y nunca más dejarnos. Probablemente estoy pidiendo demasiado. Se me olvidaba que ya habíamos terminado, que nunca volverás, que nunca me quisiste. Se me olvidó otra vez que solo yo te quise.
So what if I still love you? If every few weeks I type your name into my search bar just to stare at your face? Who cares if I still talk about you at length? If I ache for you every now and then? If I am sad, we won't buy the house we dreamt of? If I wonder how you're doing? If I pray you stay healthy while you're far from me? Who cares? Not me. I don't care if I still love you. Don't care that I might always die 1,000 small deaths whenever I'm in your city. That you ruined Gstaad for me, that you spoiled my favorite taco stand. For the rest of my life, I sigh when I hear your name. If I spend the rest of my life looking for you where I never left you. I loved you bolder than I've loved anyone else. I loved you with a ferocity I did not know I owned, and I refuse to let you take that too.
Cántale, mijo. Por eso aún estoy en el lugar de siempre, en la misma ciudad y con la misma gente, para que tú al volver no encuentres nada extraño y sea como ayer y nunca más dejarnos. Probablemente estoy pidiendo demasiado. Se me olvidaba que ya habíamos terminado, que nunca volverás, que nunca me quisiste. Se me olvidó otra vez que solo yo te quise.
Vení aquí, mi niña tonta, mi lloroncita, mi corazoncito roto. ¿Por qué lo quieres? ¿Por qué lo buscas? ¿Qué te dio que te tiene tan perdida? Claro que lo amas. ¿Cómo no lo vas a amar si él fue el primero que te dijo todo lo que tú querías escuchar? Yo sé que es bonito consentir a quien uno ama, tener a quien querer, pero mi niña loca, mi palomita triste, mi cielito lindo, él lo que buscaba era el olvido, y tú, mi amor, a ti no se te olvida.
Donde me aseguran mis amigos que te vas. Hay momentos en que quisiera mejor rajarme y arrancarme a los clavos de mi penar, pero mis ojos se mueren sin mirar tus ojos, y mi cariño con la aurora te vuelve a esperar. Y agarraste por tu cuenta las parrandas. Paloma negra, ¿dónde andarás? Ya no juegues con mi honra parrandera. Si tus caricias han de ser mías, de nadie más. Y aunque te amo con locura, ya no vuelvas. Paloma negra, eres la reja de un penal. Quiero ser libre, vivir mi vida con quien yo quiero. Dios, dame fuerza, que me estoy muriendo por irla a buscar.
Mi amorcito, ¿te acuerdas de tu papi? De ese amor tan grande, de las tardes bajo los palos de limones y tú y él hablando de las noticias o de algún deporte o de un compañero de trabajo, y tú de vez en cuando, tú chiquita linda, le preguntabas: "Apá, ¿cómo se dice tal cosa en español?" Y él te contestaba casi riendo y tú seguías con tu cuento. ¿No te acuerdas de ese amor? ¿Cómo puedes amar a alguien que no te puede dar lo mismo? Corazón, dime, ¿qué te trae tan mareada por un hombre que jamás te amó como te enseñaron a amar? Dime, que yo no lo entiendo.
Y agarraste por tu cuenta
How many LA babies are here? All right. We got an LA love poem for y'all. Let's get married when the jacarandas are in bloom, when the lotus flower on Echo Park Lake have stretched into open hands. Make me yours during summer, beneath the Dodger Stadium fireworks, the night air, my veil, the 101 tail light sequining my gown, my bouquet of palm tree borrowed from Sunset Boulevard. Let a procession of lowriders, Priuses, and rapid buses lead us to our reception. 100 street vendors lining the streets with their hot dogs or lotte carts, feeding those that celebrate our love. Let's have our first dance to a Snoop Dogg song. Setting free a dozen ducks from MacArthur Park. Let's make Pershing Square our dance floor. Borrow the mariachi from their plaza. Exposition Park the centerpiece of every table. Promise yourself to me on Slauson, on Cesar Chavez, on Temple, on Vermont, on Parkman. I have seen enough of the world to know that it has always been you. Los Angeles, my beautiful city, I choose you in this life, in my parents' life, and in the lives they left to bring me to you.
Malagueña salerosa, besar tus labios quisiera, besar tus labios quisiera, malagueña salerosa, y decirte, niña hermosa, que eres linda.
A ver, échenle, this is a party, isn't it?
Si por pobre me desprecias, yo te concedo razón, yo te concedo razón. Si por pobre me desprecias, yo no te ofrezco dinero, te ofrezco mi corazón, te ofrezco mi corazón a cambio de mi pobreza. Malagueña salerosa, besar tus labios quisiera, besar tus labios quisiera, malagueña salerosa, y decirte, niña hermosa, que eres linda. Como el canto de una rosa.
we leave you the stage.
Y arriba las mujeres. Escúchenme bien, señores, llegaron las colibrí para cantar sus canciones y hacerlos sonreír, alegrando corazones, volando van por allí para compartir su canto y sus colores, sí que sí. Con sus faldas coloridas representando a la mujer, su belleza y su porte no es todo lo que posean, y aunque usted no lo crea, también les van a cantar unos sones en tacones pa' ponerse a zapatear. Sones en tacones, vamos a tocar.
Al estilo antiguo sus violines sonarán.
Sones en tacones, vamos a tocar.
Para demostrarles somos hembras de verdad. Y ese aplauso para Mariachi Las Colibrí, sí señor.
Sones en tacones, vamos a tocar.
Al estilo antiguo sus violines sonarán.
Sones en tacones, vamos a tocar.
Para demostrarles somos hembras
De verdad. Sí, señor.
Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias. Que tengan muy buenas noches.
Are y'all having a good time? Thank you so much for coming out today. This is a beautiful way to wrap up a number of performances that we've had together. It's really been sacred and it's been holy, and thank you for joining us today. Dale, cabrón, gracias. We got 2 more songs for you. If you got tissue, y'all bitches might need it. Whenever y'all are ready.
Amor a Dios, no se puede continuar. Ya la magia terminó y ahora tengo que marchar. Será mejor seguir nuestra soledad. Si hoy el cielo se cubrió, quizá mañana brille el sol. No sufras más, quizá mañana nuestro llanto quede atrás. Y si me dices que tu amor me esperará, tendré la luz que mi sendero alumbrará. Il esa paz que siempre, siempre tú me das, que tú me das. No sufras más, quizá mañana nuestro llanto quede atrás. Y si me dices que tu amor esperará, tendré la luz que mi sendero alumbrará. Y volveré como un ave que retorna a su nital. Verás que pronto volveré y me quedaré por esa paz que siempre, siempre tú me das, que tú me das. Y volveré a tus brazos, caeré. Las estrellas brillarán. Nuestro amor renacerá.
And maybe this is all we get. And maybe we never figure it out. And maybe you meet a woman who actually loves to cook. And maybe I never choose a man. And I buy the house in the hills and you are finally a father. And maybe I run into you with your daughter and say she has your smile and you both show me your perfect teeth. And my womb does not ache. And the brief silence is not painful. And you ask about my mom, and I tell you something funny she said, and you ask about my books, and I tell you they finally are not about you. And we both shake our heads at what we once were, and we hug really tight. And it's not sad. We tried really, really hard at us, and we failed, but we won at everything else. At my funeral, I want you to play Beady Beady Boom Boom, followed by Back That Ass Up, followed by Anything by Juan Gabriel.
Tú eres la tristeza de mis
I told you.
ojos, que lloran en silencio por tu amor. Me miro en el espejo y veo mi rostro, el tiempo que he sufrido por tu adiós. Obligo a que te olvide el pensamiento, pues siempre estoy pensando en el ayer. Prefiero estar dormida que despierta, de tanto que me duele que no estés. Como quisiera que tú vivieras, que tus ojitos jamás se hubieran cerrado nunca y estar mirándolos. Amor eterno e inolvidable, tarde o temprano estaré contigo para seguir amándonos.
At my funeral, I want you to eat all that you can. Please don't turn down my mommy's food. She will be grieving and offer you platefuls. Say yes to each one. This will let her feel closer to me. At my funeral, do not read any of my poems. I wrote those to stay alive. Let them rest. Pack their bags, stretch their limbs, find new fingers. At my funeral, let the men make jokes. I have understood that machismo only allows them to be tender through laughter, and I want them soft and sweet during our final goodbye. At my funeral, thank the woman, my mother, my sisters, my niece, my homegirls. They are holy, and what I am the saddest about leaving. At my funeral, let the babies run free, kiss their heads, sneak pastries into their hands, pinch their cheeks, watch their faces flush with delight. At my funeral, find all the little girls and let them play with my lipsticks, especially the red ones. I want each mouth a rosebud made just for me. At my funeral, do not feel obligated to cry. Dance if that's what your body asked for. Remember, this body of mine felt most alive beneath strobe lights and loud music.
Amor eterno e inolvidable, tarde o temprano estaré contigo para seguir amándonos.
At my funeral, I will be dead, of course, but this will be a victory. Praise the sudden illness or accident that claimed me. Praise the hospital bed I exhaled in. Praise the doctors, nurses, and prayers that try to keep me. Praise this heart of mine that just couldn't anymore. Praise the years that came, wrapped themselves around my legs and pulled me away. Praise my death because it did not come from my own hands or from a razor blade or from a pill. Instead it came because my body or my God said, come home. And I collected all that I am and I walked through that door. At my funeral, please play a song that says I survived myself. Praise be. Such a sweet, sweet, sweet end. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Did I tell you that the last thing I told my father when he was alive was, I love you? Well, the last thing I told him when he was on the respirator was, it's okay to go. I love you. I texted you this morning about the email I owe you. I love you. I watched our favorite TV show. I love you. I listened to our favorite song. I love you. 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 If there is anything I know for certain, every day, all the time in Los Angeles, it is that we, Yesika, San Cha, Matias, and Lou, love you. Thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you.
Please, give it up for my collaborators.
Yesika Salgado, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We love you. Now go home.